What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So, I recently took to Instagram and surveyed the wonderful ladies on IG. What would you consider the sexiest date night fragrance for men? And a lot of the answers surprised me. Some didn't. But a few of these, three of these for sure, I did not think they would get mentioned enough to make this video. I narrowed it down to the main five. I do have them in chronological order. Some of these you may be shocked by, and some of these that you're watching, you're going to be like, yep, that totally makes sense. So let's talk about them. Stay tuned. Starting with an all-time classic. This one surprised me the most. I don't have a bottle of it. I have a bottle of the Le Parfum. We're talking about Dior's Fahrenheit. Shout outs to Andrea, Curly Scent. She was the first person to mention that. And I was like, oh, okay, I know she likes Fahrenheit, so I wasn't really surprised that she said that. But it then got mentioned a few more times, enough to make it into the top five. I was very surprised. I didn't realize, even to this day and age, how much sex appeal, apparently, the original Dior Fahrenheit still has to many ladies out there. It's one that I don't, like I said, I haven't smelled it in a few years. I don't have a bottle of the original Fahrenheit. I've smelled it many times over the years. I've never owned a bottle. I do have the Le Parfum. I prefer the Le Parfum, but according to the ladies on Instagram, that is the way to go. It has that classic petroleum violet leaf type of smell, a lot of leather. It's very woody. It has a little bit of freshness to it, but it's a very radiant and beautiful, sensual type of leather, in my opinion. A lot of woods here. There's some spices. There's a lot of notes going on here. It's classic masculine done right. And very unique, especially for its time when it came out. But according to the ladies on Instagram, one of the sexiest date night fragrances for men, still, the original Dior Fahrenheit. Next, I didn't see anybody mention the name of a flanker. Every time this got mentioned, it was just the name of the original. So I guess we're featuring the original with Hugo Boss the Scent. A little surprised. This is one of the ones that kind of surprised me. I didn't think of all the fragrances this would have got mentioned enough to make the video. Not surprised it got mentioned. Surprised how many times it got mentioned. I don't remember the exact number. It was more than Fahrenheit. Lovely Manenka has this sweet, almost boozy tone to it. There's a little touch of citrus at the top. It's very aromatic. Has a little bit of a leathery, woody feel in the backdrop. Unique fragrance. Manenka. I don't know of too many fragrance lines or fragrances in general that have that note outside of Boss the Scent. I know Boss the Scent isn't the only fragrance line that has used it before, but it's not widely used. So it makes for a very unique fruitiness to a scent profile. Like I said, it's a fruity, almost boozy-like type of smell is the Manenka fruit. It's a very distinctive smell in this fragrance, and I agree. In the summertime, especially summer evenings, this is underrated for how good of a summer evening date night fragrance this is. I've featured it in the past in summer date night videos. It's a good fragrance. Would it have been my pick? No, I would have probably picked Absolute or Private Accord, but it's not up to me. I was asking the wonderful ladies on IG, and according to them, one of the sexiest fragrances guys can wear for a date, take note apparently, is Boss the Scent. Not surprised here at all. I figured this would get mentioned early and often. Even to this day, it's still that damn popular. I'm talking about Nuit Delon from YSL. This is a 2018 bottle, not the most of potent versions out there, but it's not that weak to me. Actually, when I was gathering the fragrances last night, I sprayed this one on my arm, and the dry down stayed all the way to like 8-9 hours, to where it wasn't super weak, faint skin scent. So I would say the strength of the CIs really calms down at the 7 to 8 hour mark on my skin with this. And like I said, it's 2018. It's the lighter colored juice. So, because I know some people will ask, while it's not one that I wear that often, I do wear it on occasion because my wife does very much enjoy this. She likes the flankers more. She likes the Le Parfum. She likes the Eau de Parfum. She loves the Intense on me. It's mainly the Le Parfum and the Intense are her two personal favorites. It's kind of my two favorites in the line as well. But even to this day, this beautiful, sweet, spicy, powdery, very powdery cardamom, very aromatic as well. There's a nice hit of lavender without making it a soapy scent. This is a beautiful fragrance still. I mean, I don't find it to be played out. It is an all-time great evening wear scent. So like I said before, I was not surprised that this got mentioned enough to make the video. I was curious to see if any of the flankers would get enough love to beat it out. A few of them got mentioned, most notably the Le Parfum. But no, this was the clear-cut winner when it came to Nuit Delon mentions. And it was the third most mentioned fragrance of the survey. So I appreciate everybody that picked this one out. So at the end of the day, wear what your lady wants to smell on you when you're going out to dinner, because more than likely you're going to like the way it smells too, but it's also very important to want her to come in a little bit closer. You know what I mean? According to the ladies on Instagram, still one of the sexiest date night fragrances on a man. It's Nuit Delon. Now, I sprayed this one on my other wrist last night. The dry down's still there. Okay, it was at like 8 or 9 o'clock in the evening yesterday at the recording. The sun is still out over here. It's late in the afternoon the following day. I was surprised. I wasn't completely surprised it got mentioned. I was surprised that it almost got the most mentions. I had no idea ladies liked this fragrance that damn much. We're talking about Dior Homme Intense. This is actually, believe it or not, my least favorite Dior Homme version. I love this fragrance still. That just goes to show how much I appreciate the entire line. That a lot of people's favorite is my personal least favorite, believe it or not. And still has a little bit of a leathery feel and a little bit of a woody tone right here on my wrist from 12, 60, like 18 plus, about 18 hours ago, 19 hours ago. That's insane. It's not projecting, but I can still clear as day smell it on my wrist. That's outrageous staying power. Okay, this is next level. This is not the 2020 or newer. This is the previous version. This is like a 2019 bottle, if I remember correctly. It's a big 5.1 ounce bottle. But it's the sweetest of the Dior Hommes, for sure. So maybe that's why it's the most popular among the ladies, because it's the sweetest. You still get that powdery lipstick, waxy iris feel. You still get a little touch of leather. Not near the amount of leather in the original Dior Homme. Not even close to the leather you get in the Dior Homme Parfum flanker. But this one definitely ramps up the sweetness. You don't have near as much freshness. And like I said, it's one of the more powdery. I find this to be a very classy fragrance. Very situational. This is a dressy occasion type of fragrance for me. That's why I don't wear it that often. But I was surprised at how many mentions this got. But according to the ladies on Instagram, you want to smell sexy? Guys, apparently you need to get your hands on Dior Homme Intense. I'm actually not surprised in the least that this got mentioned the most. I agree. It's great. It's got tons of hype behind it for good reason. Viktor and Rolf Spicebomb Extreme. This was the most mentioned fragrance. We had some random mentions of like Invictus, Cool Water, stuff you maybe wouldn't have expected to see on there. There was a wide, vast amount of answers, variety with these, but the one constant was Spicebomb Extreme specifically getting mentioned. The original Spicebomb got mentioned maybe one time. Every time Spicebomb came up, it was the Extreme. It was the overwhelming majority. It was the clear-cut number one for this video. It's a great fragrance. Like I said, I can't disagree. Beautiful spice, vanilla, a little bit of earthy tobacco. It's a powerhouse. It's warming. It's cuddly. It's very inviting. I could see why the ladies like this one. I could see why they chose this one as the absolute most sexy fragrance on the date for a man. This is what the ladies like to smell according to all that decided to take part in the survey. So take that with a grain of salt. At the end of the day, you have to spray it on your skin. See how your lady feels about it. You know, or any ladies that happen to be watching this video. A lot of other ladies seem to think this is one of the sexiest fragrances your man can wear. So maybe get a sample and get him to try it. See how you feel about it on his skin, because it's definitely really freaking good. I have to agree with that. Not surprised it took number one, but according to the ladies on Instagram, the sexiest date night fragrance for men is Spicebomb Extreme. Relatively quick and to the point, narrowed down to the 5 most mentioned. Thank you to all of the ladies, if you happen to see this, that took part in answering the question so I could survey you guys to, come up with this particular piece of content and this video. And until next time, do me a real quick favor, go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you agree? What do you think about the 5 that were in this video? Did some of these picks surprise you? Some of them definitely surprised me. I did not see Fahrenheit and Boss Descent coming. I figured Boss Descent would get mentioned a little bit, but not enough to make the top 5. Dior Intense being mentioned as much as it did definitely surprised me. But Nuit Delon and Spicebomb Extreme, no surprises there for me. And until next time, I will say, if you get your hands on any of the 5 that were mentioned in this video and you give them a spray now, you'll probably thank the ladies of Instagram later. Have a good one, guys.